Hi, this is Rodney Reisdorf from Verivend, and I'm going to show you just how easy and quick it is to get capital calls into the platform and sent out to your investors and LPs. So here I am in my Rocket Fund LLC, and I can see that I've already got some capital calls going out. I can see exactly which ones have been sent, viewed, scheduled, or committed, or fully paid. But let's get some more in and show you that process. So to get capital calls in, I'm going to go over on the left-hand side navigation and click on capital calls. And there's two ways to get capital calls into Verivend. I can click on the add new button in the upper right-hand corner and just add them one by one. But let's do something a little bit more at scale. So let's import a capital call file with 50 capital calls that total $40 million. So I'm going to click on the import capital calls button here. And I'm just going to click on the import capital call button. And I'm going to browse to my desktop. I have my pre-formatted capital call data file here. And with just one click, I can see that all of these capital calls for various amounts have been imported into Verivend for 50 investors. So I'm going to close this here. And now I can see that I've got all my capital calls in draft state here. So they're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is just quickly filter all of the capital calls by draft. And I'm going to expand my selection to 50 to show all those capital calls. So here I see all of the capital calls that I've imported with just a couple clicks. And to send them out, I can do that in bulk by clicking on the top checkbox, selecting all of them, and clicking the send button here. So I'm going to confirm that I want to publish 50 capital calls out to all of my investors and LPs, and I'll just give it a couple seconds here, and this process is going to initiate all of the sends. And now if I go back and look at all of my capital calls, I can see that I've got all of these capital calls out that are due tomorrow for the various amounts to 50 investors that are pending their request. And if I go back to the dashboard, here now I can see that I've got an increase in $40 million in my incoming capital calls, and the pie chart for the sent capital calls has increased $40 million with all those capital calls out to all the investors. Now here's what the investor sees. They have an email in their inbox that says Rocket Fund LLC sent them a new capital call on Verivend, and all they have to do is scroll down and click on this Get Started button. So with one click, this investor is now in Verivend viewing their capital calls. And now I can see that Rocket Fund sent a capital call for a total amount of $500,000. And I'll scroll down here. I can quickly and easily see the due date and the full history of at the bottom when the capital call was created to when it was published and sent to me, and then when I viewed it. So to fund this capital call as an investor, all I have to do is click on the pay button. And now I can see that I have two options. I can either fund this capital call with a transfer from my own bank account, or I can push a wire transfer into Verivend, both of which are fully and automatically reconciled by the Verivend platform. So I'm going to choose bank. I've already got a bank account sent here. And then I'm just going to scroll down and say pay now. And then I'm going to click on that submit payment button. And that's it for the investor. They fully funded their capital call and can click continue and see the payment confirmation of $500,000 was sent. And now they've got a confirmation in their payment history for this capital call of $500,000 that they sent, which is fully date and time stamped and auditable. So now I'm back in Rocket Fund LLC. I can see that I've got a couple notifications and messages that have lit up here. So I'm going to go to notifications and see that the capital call has been viewed by this investor and a payment of $500,000 was made on the capital call. With one click, I can easily go in here and see the exact same history that the investor saw from when it was created up to when the payment was sent. I've got a confirmation that this bank payment is on the way. And if I go back to my dashboard, now I can see that my fully paid capital calls has increased. And when I go to fully paid, I can see all of the investors that have fully paid their capital calls on Verivend.